All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah by Sham, Yahawashi by Sham Rakakadash. Back with another lesson. This is going into the foundation. I was reading this article, and it's pretty spiritual. I'm gonna read it, and then we're gonna, get some scriptures, and we're gonna go into it. All right. So it says, historic good home mansion moved twice to avoid destruction, reduced to rubble by owners. And as this title represents, this could, of course, represent, of course, our people, mainly the 2/3. They're trying to preserve everything that this life, uh, what little life that this life has to offer. As you see things coming to an end, you're seeing, food shortages, you're seeing, the freedoms, the rights of these people being taken away, and you're seeing what become the world becoming more policed. You're seeing more restrictions, more just destruction, man. You can see things are just coming to an end, and these people are trying to preserve, what little they have left in this society. But ultimately, of course, it's all going to be destroyed, man. Okay. So let's read the title again. It says, historic good home mansion moved twice to avoid destruction, reduced to rubble by owners. So, see, it was destroyed anyway, man. So we're going to read this, and we'll get some scriptures. So it says, the good home mansion moved twice since it was constructed in 1901. And what is now Deep Deuce was torn down over the weekend after sitting unoccupied for a dozen years in a field in eastern Oklahoma County. All right. It says the owners did not respond to requests for comment on the destruction. Michael Swartz, owner of the website AbandonedOklahoma.com, witnessed some of the destruction on Sunday and was confronted by a man representing himself as the property owner. All right. So we're going to see if we can get to the point. There's some, drag in this article. It says Swartz said he was told people taking pictures of the mansion was why it was being torn down, and that it was not historic, and that Oklahoma Historical Society didn't want it. Okay. And I guess you could put this as Yahawashi. You got the good fruits. All right, then you got the bad fruits. All right, you got the wheat, you got the tares, man. You got the wheat representing the 1/3, and then you got the tares representing the 2/3, man. All right, so as it says that they didn't want it, the Oklahoma Historical Society didn't want it. You could say that, that's Yahawashi. When he comes back, he's looking for faith. He's looking for the ones that has been doing his will. Okay, he's not looking for, the 2/3 Jake. That's just been sitting around smoking weed, committing all kinds of iniquity, eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, doing all these wicked things, man. He's not coming back to save those, to preserve it, to preserve those type of people, man. He's going to wipe them away, man. He's going to burn them up, ultimately with them nuclear missiles, man. You see how spiritual this is, man? So let's keep reading. It says, the mansion was the oldest surviving home originally built in Oklahoma City and predated construction of the Harn home at the Harn Homestead and the Overholser mansion in Heritage Hills. All right. And so it says this mansion was the oldest surviving home, man. And this could represent the House of David. All right. That foundation, man, that was built on a rock of Yahawashi, man. All right. You see? So, this is the ones that's gonna be preserved, man, and of course Jacob's trouble and the destruction, all right, of America, man, and they're gonna be delivered. They're gonna be preserved, all right. So let's read on. It says the home marked the rise of Andrew Goodhome into the ranks of city fathers who shaped the prairie town into a city. I ain't gonna read this. This is a bit of drag. It's going into a little bit of history, but it's not really the point of the lesson. But anyway, let's go on down a little more. Let's see. It says the surrounding neighborhood went into decline in the 1960s, though the mansion escaped demolition. You see that? The escape, man. You see? So, the righteous, the 1/3, including the 144,000, they're gonna escape the destruction, man. You see? That destruction, the mark, the spiritual mark. What does that mark mean? When you look it up, it means exempt from judgment. All right, so the house of David, ultimately, which is the 1/3, including 144,000, they're going to escape the destruction that's coming to America. And it says, though the mansion escaped demolition, that took down other nearby homes as part of construction of Interstate 235. So all the homes around that mansion was destroyed, man. Except that mansion, that was preserved. So anyway, it says Jim Fentress was the first to save the mansion when he bought it in 1977 when it adjoined his business, Fentress Sound. Fentress was unaware of the destruction when he was contacted Monday. You see? So it's kind of like two sides to this. Even though this mansion was still destroyed, but at the same time, this mansion, it was preserved. The words that's in this article, ultimately, but even though, this is all worldly, he's trying to preserve this mansion of what little, this American society has to offer. All right, but it was still destroyed. All right, but anyway, let's go on. It says, the horrible news, Fentress said, I'm in a state of depression. That was a treasure. It says Fentress had two objectives when he bought the mansion. He needed the property for additional warehouse space. He says, but he also wanted to make sure the mansion didn't fall into despair, as did most of the other homes in the area. Just so you don't get confused. Ultimately, of course, I was making a little comparison earlier that this, of course, represents, the house of David and, the 144 and everything, just as a little side note, but ultimately, of course, this is, Babylon the Great, and everything of that nature. And, of course, it's still going to get destroyed. But that was just a little side note, just so you don't get confused. All right, so let's go on down. All right, so it says, excuse me, as Fentress had two objectives when he bought the mansion. He needed the property for additional warehouse space, but he also wanted to make sure the mansion didn't fall into despair, as did most of the other homes in the area. All right. It says, going into the home, it was so unique, Fentress said. Of course, this could represent the other doctrines, the philosophies, the ways of America, man. All right. It was beautiful. It was pleasant upon the eyes. It was beautiful to behold, things of that nature. It says the Chamber of Commerce printed a pamphlet on nice homes where they showed it. When I went into it, the early day cast iron bathtubs were in there. The cherry wood kitchen, the beautiful flooring was still in there. I could not bear to tear it down. You see? And this, of course, represents our people. They can't escape America's philosophies. They can't escape, they don't want to leave behind the American philosophies and the doctrines and so on and so forth. The ways of America, man. They don't want to abandon everything here, all right, in preparation for the kingdom, man. They can't, like you said, I could not bear it to tear it down. It says Fentress announced he would donate the home to anyone who would move and restore it. All right. Let's see. It says Saunders, then State Fair president, proposed moving the house to the fairgrounds for preservation. All right. And of course, our people, and just these people in general, mainly, outside of the hopeful elect, all right, they're trying to preserve, all right, the ways of this, of the good old America that they know and love, man. It says, and to illustrate an example of life in the capital city at the turn of the century, it was divided into several sections and lifted by a crane onto trucks and carried to the fairgrounds, where it was reassembled. Okay, so they was trying to move. They see certain things go down, then they try to move and try to find another means of comfort and of mirth. You know, in a spiritual sense, man. As you see these lockdowns, for instance. You see people trying to move out of the state, all right, into another state so they can continue that mirth, man, that preservation of that American way. You see. So it says where it was reassembled. So the house was taken from one place to another to be reassembled. And it says an array of nonprofits and volunteers restored the home when it was moved to fairgrounds with efforts led by Daughters of the Revolution. People bought bricks along a landscaped path leading to the home on the east side of the fairgrounds. All right, it says the home was open for tours during the annual state fair, but was never on display year around as originally envisioned. The fair board, under new leadership, went on a spree converting the fairgrounds into an inquine-oriented campus. All right, so you had this foundation, so to speak. A lot of people loved it, like they went into it. All right. It says the monorail was shut down and dismantled. The Space Needle closed, and it was torn down. The Oklahoma City Museum of Art moved downtown. A vintage steam locomotive went to the Oklahoma Railway Museum. All right, it says the B-52 Plaza was dismantled. It says the 2008 The Good Home Mansion was the next to go. You see? So no matter how much our people, try to preserve the ways of America, man, it's still going to be destroyed, man. You see? Like the scriptures say, man, whether you believe it or not, man, hey, man, the words of Yahawashi does not go out void, man. It's still going to happen, whether you believe it or not. No matter what you do, you cannot stop the destruction that's coming to this place. You can't stop Yahawashi will, man. It's going to happen. Okay. Let's see. It says Richard Harris, a house mover, acquired the home. The house was taken apart again and driven into his spread near Northeast 23rd and Westminster. Harris told reporters he was going to renovate the home, find vintage furnishings, and make it his home. Okay, so it's moved once again. It says he was the one who originally moved it from the 4th and Walnut to the State Fair, Fincher said. He was so excited to have the opportunity to restore it, move in, and live in it. That never happened. You see? It says Harris died in 2012 with the job not completed. It says in December, Harris' daughter Christina Puckett told the Oklahoman the home was not for sale and their plans were still to complete renovations. All right? Basically take all the broken pieces of America, man, and build it back up, man. Try to preserve it, but it's not going to happen. Preservation architect Catherine Montgomery was among those who volunteered time to provide tours when the mansion was still at the state fairgrounds. It says, for me, it was quite a fun experience to see people come through and bump up against history like that in a way people didn't otherwise have a chance to do. All right, so this part right here in a spiritual sense could represent America. Our people living it up in their wickedness. They were having fun. It was all fun and games, when they look down at the men of the Lord, that's preaching His word on the highways and byways and doing these shows, man. All right, they looked down upon us. They laughed, they mocked, they scoffed. They were bumping and living it up, partying all day, living to their heart's content, man. All right, you see? So it says, for me, it was quite a fun experience to see people coming through and bump up against history like that in a way people didn't otherwise have a chance to do. All right, it says Montgomery said it was a loss to move it from the fairgrounds. It would have been safe there. All right, but that wouldn't have been so, in a spiritual sense. And no matter where you go, man, everything's still going to be destroyed, man. Because what the scriptures say, it says that the things that we see are temporal, but the things we don't see are eternal, man. And what we don't see, what the kingdom and all the blessings and everything, so to speak, those are eternal, man, and that's coming. All right, and everything that we see now and here and now is going to be destroyed, man. All right, because they're temporal. It's all temporary. All right, so it says, let's see. I think this is it on that. So let's get some. Break this down. We're gonna start in Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 24. All right, it says, "Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock." Oh, you see, and that rock represents Yahawashi, man. All right, that foundation. All right, that house that was built on a rock. All right, that shall not be moved. That's not going to be destroyed, man. All right, in verse 25, it says, "And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not." You see? So the house in this article, ultimately, it fell, but, as a little side note, earlier, what it say? It said that of all the houses that was around this house right here that you see in this photo, all of those were destroyed except that one. It was preserved, man. You see? And that represents what? The elect. The elect in 1/3, man. You see? But of course, ultimately, the house got destroyed, but it was just a little side note there, But anyway, it says, "And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock." And what, like the scriptures say, that they made Yahawah Bashim al Shah their habitation, man. All right, and it was safe. You see. It says, verse 26, "And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand," man. You see, and that's 2/3 of our people. Right? They built their house, upon sand, which represents Babylon the Great, man. It's going to be completely wiped away, man. It says, "And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it." You see? Okay? And that was it on that. So yeah, man. The 2/3 of our people, man. Hey, man, that foundation that they built themselves on, which is America, Babylon the Great, is gonna fall, man. It's gonna fall. So let's get Proverbs chapter 18, and we'll start at verse 10. It says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it, and is safe." You see, in verse 11, "The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall in his own conceit." All right, and as you see, that's what our people do, man. They worship money. They worship the materialistic things in this society. They worship all these things, man. And they make that what? They make that their tower, man, instead of Yahawah Bashim al Shah as their tower. Okay, so that destruction is gonna come, and it's gonna beat upon their foundations that they hold in high regards, that they put their faith and their hope in, and it's gonna be destroyed. So let's get Isaiah chapter 30. In verse 7, it says, "For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still." All right. So yeah, man, they put their trust in Egypt, and they ain't gonna help. It's not gonna help you. Your money is not gonna save you. All right. The juice that Esau Edom is mandating is not gonna save you. The MOTB is not gonna save you. All right. The food you stock up on is not going to save you. Your car, your woman, all right, your friends, all right. All these things, they're not going to save you. But what? Through the power and spirit of Yahawah Bashim al Shah, that's going to save you. When you set your foundation on Yahawah Bashim al Shah, man. You see? When you set that as as your hope, your faith, and your trust. You see? Not this world. Okay, it says verse 8, "Now go and write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever." Verse 9, "That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that would not hear the law of the Lord. You see, and that's what 2/3 of our people. We're telling them that this is the way. We're on the highways and byways. We're doing these lessons, but they don't want to listen. Okay? They still looking in America, man. They still lackadaisical. They're still living it up. They're still trying to preserve the pieces that's fallen, man. Okay? Verse 10, it says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. They want us to prophesy that good old American dream, prosperity, to prophesy on, all these vain things, vanity, okay, temporary things, fleshly things, carnality. But we're not going to do that, man. We're going to preach Yahawah by Shem Al-Shah, whether these people like it or not. All right? Verse 11, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And that's what our people do, man. They don't want to listen to this. They don't want to take heed unto this. They don't want to hear the destruction of America, man. They don't want to hear any of that, man. They want to be slaves here in America, man. It says, wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be unto you as a breach ready to fall. So as you see, like we read in Proverbs, what it say? The rich man sets his riches as his high tower, his wall, man, that high wall. So as you see right here, since they want to do that, it says, therefore this iniquity shall be unto you as a breach ready to fall. So that destruction that's coming, whether it's through the troops or the chariots, of course the missiles ultimately, but all these means of death is going to breach, is going to break that defense that they set up, all right, which is that woman, all right, that car, that house they got, all right, that the money that they own, that they have, man, them FRNs, man. It's going to fall, man. It's not going to preserve them. So it's going to be easily broken down. It says, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. All right. So as you saw in this article, what did it say? He said he didn't see it coming. He said he didn't see the destruction coming. Right here it says, Fentress was unaware of the destruction when he was contacted Monday. See? So it was destroyed and he didn't even know it, man. And that's how it's going to be for 2/3 of our people, man. Of course, and the rest of these heathens. They're gonna get it too. So let's read on. It's verse 14. It says, and he shall break it as the breaking of potter's vessel, that is broken in pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of a sherd to take fire from the hearth, or to take water with all out of the pit. So it's going to be so broken, you ain't going to be able to pick up a piece, man. It's going to be nothing. It's going to be just nothing but just thin air, man. That's how it's going to be. They ain't going to be able to preserve it. You ain't going to find no preservation in America, man. It's going to be wiped away, where there's nothing to be perceived. Scriptures say that Babylon is going to be as a desert, man. It's going to be flattened, completely leveled. You ain't going to see nothing. All right, verse 15. For thus saith the Lord Yahawah, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not. He says, but ye said, no, for we will flee upon horses, therefore shall ye flee. And we will ride upon the swift, therefore shall they that pursue you be swift. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that, man. So you get the point, man. So let's get Luke. It's New Testament, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's get Luke. Let's get Luke chapter 21, verse 34. Alright, so Luke chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with satiety and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day came upon you unawares. All right, so their destruction is going to hit our people because they're unaware, man. So it said, what it say? Take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with satiety, drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. All right, and that's what we're doing. All right, we're watching, we're watching the times. We know what's coming. Okay, we're not blind, we're not asleep to the things that's gonna come, man. And Lord willing, I'll be at that number. And of course, the ones that may be watching and sincerely watching and listening and learning, hopefully you be part of that as well. Okay. It says, and in the daytime he was, yeah, that's it on that Slakia. But yeah, man, it says to watch and pray, man, that we may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's what we're doing, man. We're prepping, spiritually prepping for what's to come, man. All right, we'll get two more and we'll close out. This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 25. It says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. And like I said, you seen in that article, what did it say? It had a little group or program, whatever it was called, preservation. Yeah, there it is. It says preservation architect Catherine Montgomery. You know, that's what they were called, the preservation architect. You know, ain't no preservation here in America, man. You know, and our people, what are they doing? They're trying to save their life. All right, which is that lifestyle, man, the American way. They're trying to preserve it. But what it say? For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. So they're gonna lose it, man. They're gonna lose everything that they have, man. Everything that they put their faith and hope in outside of Yahawah Shem outside. And it says, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. You know, we're gonna have to give up everything that we own, know, and love, man. Give it up, man. We're gonna have to give up that job, give up the vehicle that you may own, the woman. You know, you may have to give that up, man. Your children, everything that you know and love, like the scriptures say, man. Whosoever hateth not his mother or his father or his brother or his sister, you know, etc., or it shall not be worthy of me. Okay, so we're gonna have to be willing to give up everything for Yahawah Shem Shah. You know, everything. All right, be willing to throw it all behind us. Okay. So it says, whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. All right? And what we're going to find? What the kingdom, man. Ultimately, the kingdom. All right, so let's get one last one. We're going to get the Apocrypha, second Ezra. All right. It is here. This is second Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, so we got to watch, be diligent. Okay, don't slack. All right, always be up on the news, man, and know what's going on. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee. All right. It says, even from the beginning, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning, and the end is manifest. Okay, so the end is manifesting itself. We're seeing it. We're seeing the signs. We're seeing everything that's coming. So these guys here, they were trying to preserve, this house, man. Talking about, yeah, we're gonna rebuild it. We're gonna re-innovate it. All right, we're gonna have tourists and stuff come and visit and come inside and everything, and we're gonna live in it one day. We're gonna have a life here. But what? The destruction came, man. The end is manifest. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, hey man, America's still gonna be destroyed, man. That's ultimately what it is. All right, so let's read this verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. Okay? And we're seeing those signs. We're seeing the uproars of the people. We're seeing the earthquakes. We're seeing the volcanic eruptions. We're seeing the storms. You got hurricanes and floods and just all kinds of stuff going on, man. At an all-time high. All right, you're seeing the freedoms getting taken away from these people. You're seeing the NWO trying to be implemented. So all these things are showing, man, and the Lord's showing it. All right, and those are the powerful works, the endings and effects and signs, man. Verse 7, it says, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith. All right, so you got to have works and faith, man. And 2/3 of our people don't have neither one of these, man. They don't have works, let alone have faith. They don't have faith. They put their faith in America, man. All right, that house, that car, that woman, the job, the ways of America, man. Not Yahawah Sham. All right, but us, the hopeful elect, are doing that, man. We're trying to do that to the best of our ability. Okay, it says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, all right, shall be preserved from the perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. All right, you see, and that's what's coming to the elect, man. All right, and Lord willing, I be that number. But anyway, verse 9, it says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despisefully shall dwell in torments. All right, and that's 2/3 of our people, man. And the rest of these heathens as well, they're gonna dwell in torments too. They're gonna die. And it says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. All right, you see, like that article says, I gotta refer back to it again. What they say, we had fun. It was fun. Let's go down to it, man. Yeah, right here, this quote, it says, for me, it was quite fun. It's quite a fun experience to see people come through and bump up against history like that in a way people didn't otherwise have a chance to do. So yeah, they were living it up. It was fun. All right, you lived it up for a time. All right, and what else to say? It says, Montgomery said, it was a loss to move it from the fairgrounds. It would have been safe there, but not so, man. Not so. It still would be destroyed. Okay, so let's continue reading on. It says, and they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty. Slacking. I skipped some parts. That's verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. It says the same must know it after death by pain. You see? So they're gonna be tormented and they're gonna die, man, in horrible ways, man. All right, but the righteous, the 1/3, the hopeful elect, they're gonna be preserved. All right, they're going to be safe. They're going to be that strong tower, that strong house, man. That strong house that falleth not. When the rain cometh, beateth upon it. When the winds beat upon it. All right, and the floods come, they're going to be preserved. Okay, but the ungodly, they're not. Verse 13, it says, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished. It says, and when, but inquire, but how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. You see? So this is for the righteous, man. So we focusing on salvation. All right, we're not worried about the destruction, because the scriptures say that the day of evil was created for the wicked, man. It's not created for the righteous to be destroyed, man. Like the scripture says, it says, whoso perish being innocent, man. The Lord would, if you're innocent, you're not going to be destroyed, man. You know, this is created for the wicked, man, not for the righteous. All right, but that's pretty much it. That's all I want to get into. That was a very spiritual article. You know, I just came across it and thought I should do a lesson on it. You know, that foundation. You know, that's what it's going into. You know, even though this house was destroyed ultimately, you know, but early in this article, you know, what it said, it was preserved. All other houses or foundations and houses around it were destroyed except this one. But even though ultimately this was destroyed, it still represents America. You know, on the flip side, this is still America. It's going to be wiped away. All right, so, you know, that's all I want to get into. Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, by Sham, Yahawashi, by Shem Rakakadash. Shalom.